Okay, the format of this interview, I will read the question. You will have 30 seconds to think about your response and 2 minutes to give your response. You don't have to use the full 30 seconds if you don't want it, but I will cut you off at 2 minutes. Question 1. Tell us about yourself.
So, my story, first of all, so my story is a story of impact. I'm from a small town, went to a middle-sized high school, graduated in the middle of my class, and early on fell in love with the church, fell in love with the youth group, and started to realize from an early age that I wanted to have an impact on other people's lives. So went on mission trips and it started to develop through that. In college, that played out once again on further mission trips with different organizations like Campus Crusade and Young Life. As I began to start a career in teaching, the special needs community really grabbed me. I was able to have an impact on the general ed population, 600-700 students in elementary school, while also having an impact on the special needs community. Flash forward, so most recently, being a college professor, I'm able to impact students that will go on and teach a large amount of students in their schools. I still have a guy named Jackson Gerke that I grew up with and met him at the university, and we work together to this day with a special needs broadcast we put together. And now, most recently at Chick-Fil-a, I get to have a large impact on my team members and the guests that we serve at the Chick-Fil-A I currently work at. So I guess if I could sum up my whole life story in a word, it would be that I try to have an impact on the special needs community, in my church, in the community, and at the Chick-Fil-A that I currently work at. I think Chick-Fil-A gives me the biggest opportunity to impact the most people through the guests that come in, through the team members that I work with, through learning from senior level management, the operator.
Question 2. If you operated a Chick-fil-A restaurant, what would your priorities be?
The 3 main priorities I would have in my Chick-fil-A match the motto that I currently have at this Chick-fil-A, which is to nourish, serve, and transform. So 1, nourish, so we deliver great food that's prepared well, safely, and we also serve it at a fast and efficient pace. So our speed of service should be very high. We should move our guests through the drive-thru at a very efficient and fast pace, but not at the sacrifice of our food quality. So our food quality should remain high while delivering at a very fast and efficient pace. So that's how we're going to nourish our guests. And also, we serve our guests, serve our community at my future store, and serve the team members inside of my store. So any needs, going back to impact, any needs that I see in the community, any needs that I see with my team members that work at my Chick-fil-A, I would love as best as I can to match and meet the needs, because I truly think that Chick-fil-A can transform the community that it's in, along with the people that are inside of the brick and mortar store. So that's to nourish, serve, and then transform. We, just like I said, we transform mentalities, mindsets, the community with the, it seems like everybody's so divisive these days. One thing I've learned from the Chick-Fil-A that I'm in right now is it's the one place I can come and see people from all walks of life, and we're a team. At the end of the day, we walk out of this building, we go through struggles, we battle through tough times inside the store, difficult moments, and we walk out of here united almost every night, and it's a beautiful thing. So that's how we can help transform inside the store and also send that.
And question 3, why do you want to be a Chick-fil-A operator? And
I want to be a Chick-fil-A operator because of the opportunities it allows me. Opportunities in a lot of different areas. One, at this point in my life, I'm spread so thin for financial reasons to try to financially support myself and get myself in a position to support a family. I don't want to be stretched thin for the rest of my life. So the biggest opportunity, or one of the opportunities that Chick-fil-A would allow me, is to focus on one thing and not stretch myself so thin, time-wise, brain width-wise, etc. So it would allow me to focus on one thing that I feel like I can do. I'm doing a good job at now, and I can do an even better job if that's all I had to focus on, and not real estate, not teaching school, not selling houses, etc. So the opportunity financially to focus on one thing. Also, the financial opportunity would allow me to bless and have an impact, back to the first question, in a lot of areas. I could have a greater impact on the community. I could have an impact on my family that would allow, hopefully, my wife and I to raise a large family as well, and not have to worry about finances and have to work a lot of jobs. Chick-fil-A opportunity would also allow me to have a huge impact on the people that work for me, my team members, and be able to develop them, mentor them in the same ways I have at the college level and when I taught school. It would also allow me the opportunity to impact the community and work with the community that I operate a store out of and live in, and be able to serve and nourish the community.
You still have some time, but you're done.
Good. Yeah.
Question 4. How would you structure your leadership team? And
so the leadership style I would desire within my store would, at the very top, under me as the operator, I would have 2 general managers. One would be in charge of finances, one would be in charge of hiring and firing, and the second one would mainly be in charge of store operations, the daily operations of the store, the scheduling aspects, kind of keeping tabs on the sales, hours, wages, etc., etc. Underneath those 2 general managers, top level managers, I would want a director of the drive-through. Would be one of my most important director positions, because I know that's where our bread and butter is. And with COVID happening, that became such a priority and such an important piece of the business. that person would have a lot of weight and a lot of responsibility on them. I would want a director at the front of the house as well that would kind of work with the drive-through director, maybe even be over the drive-through director, and kind of help them out as well. Hopefully the restaurants will open back up on the inside, some already are, and then they'll have more responsibilities with the inside of the restaurant as well, the front counter, the dining room, etc. I'll also have a director of HR, so they would handle all HR responsibilities. I would want, of course, a director of the back of the house. I think the back of our house is one of the most important parts of the restaurant, the heart of the house, and that director would be extremely important for me as well. In the beginning, I'm not sure I could have all the directors I would want for financial reasons. I think in addition to that, I would at some point get a marketing director, but that would not.
Question 5. Why should you be selected over other applicants?
So one of the reasons I think I should be selected as an operator and also over other candidates is that for the last almost a year now, I've given a majority of my life to Chick-Fil-A and to pursuing a dream, pursuing a passion. I applied for a Chick-Fil-A 3 years ago, was told no. I think I could have run a Chick-Fil-A 3 years ago. Without the experience, I would have had a lot of trying times. But now, after being here for 10 months and leading the operator-led delivery, leading the drive-through, I think I learned a lot of valuable lessons, a lot of real-life experiences going through COVID. A lot of people that have never worked at Chick-fil-A don't know what that was like, and all the alterations we made during that time. I think I've shown growth in both areas that I've worked in. I think that I've shown that I can lead people, lead different parts of the restaurant. And outside of that, I feel like I have the business acumen through running real estate investments, running real estate properties, while also showing that I can multitask and still be a full-time professor this entire time that I've been working at Chick-fil-A. So I think all those things combined just show that I'm willing to stay in the ring, I'm willing to fight, I'm willing to pursue my dream and not give up on a dream that I have that I think is the best for me and that I think I can have an impact, a huge impact on the community given the chance to run a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.